that, this is not just your normal nerd, someone with a low confidence level. You had to know that you was invincible. You had to know that you were Superman or the Green Goblin. Where did the confidence come from?
I can honestly say for me it was like, New Orleans when I grew up was the murder capital. Uptown, downtown hated each other. They was closing down the uptown projects and putting everybody in downtown. I done seen people really get killed. I mean, so I'm like, I have a street sensibility. You know what I'm saying? Not saying a street mentality, but a street sensibility. Like I know this. I know death is right there. And so if you don't feel that, then bitch, what the fuck is the person at the bank gonna do me? If that right there, like you know what I'm saying, like cross the street is dead, bitch. What the fuck is dude gonna do right here? So I mean, I think what made me so vicious and made me so confident in certain things is because I do have an upbringing where I'm not gonna say I was in the hood, I wasn't selling drugs or nothing like that, but it was right outside my door. I see this. My brother is really my brother. They call him Saint Bernard Pet. He really was he known as a head buster and a stand up nigga. So I'm looking at like I'm this close to it. Not saying that's me. I never perpetuated to be somebody who was hood or street. I'm I'm not no killer, and it's not even don't push me because I'm scared of it. But at the end of the day, I'm seeing it right there. So you don't fear like if you don't feel that, you definitely don't feel like where I come from. A motherfucker die tomorrow. And so, what the fuck is the bank teller gonna do to me? What the fuck is the income tax place gonna do to me? Not a motherfucking thing. What you gonna do? Tell me no, and I'm gonna just go down the street and get it done anyway. And so, for me, it was more like, the confidence come from just knowing that this is going. I have no choice. This is like I gotta survive. My back against the wall. What I'm supposed to do? I mean, it was never in me to be out there the type of person to sell my body or nothing like that. But so it was definitely like, if I've got the mentality, this is not my thing. This is gonna be my thing.
All right. All right. So let's talk about, okay, so your, again, biggest scam, bank IRS. What about doxing? Have you ever really, like, who was one of the biggest people you ever doxed?
Okay, so this is okay. You're going all over. Okay, so now let me. I'm gonna answer your question. The question about doxing. But just to be able to do that when I was out of prison, of course, I had to be able to be somebody. Like I wasn't me doing this. I was doctor this or doctor that. I have a few stories on the tube that go into some of my fraud stories, and sometimes like one time I had got this doctor that had a black card, and I went crazy on it on his black card and stuff like that. So it's like I got I mean I had to know how to be people. I say that to say only that comes from you to order to be somebody, you have to know them. So, because when they ask you, so what's your mother's maiden name? I have to know that, and so I had to know how to find out this information in order to make money back then. So when I come and coming home, and somebody playing with me on the internet, it's like, do you know what I know how to do? I will find your social security. I will find your cousin's maiden name. Like I had to do this to survive. So knowing how to do this to fuck over you, bitch, that's not hard. And when you say doxing, okay, so on Bigo we know that as a thing, but on IG, that was for me to say like it kind of became a thing to like because a lot of times when I would my blogging career, um, when that was taking off, it was more like the only thing that could set you apart in the blogging world is if you come up with something that everybody else don't have, that exclusive, that tea, as they say. And so
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's like, okay, these other bloggers just basically reposting this and reposting that. I could put up a bit of shit, and the shit that they really don't want you to know, I can show you. And so it really started with this woman in New Orleans. Her name is Super Scent. Um, and I had found some information that was filed when it came to her baby daddy at the time. He's still a baby daddy, but her baby daddy boyfriend at the time. And I found some information that was filed in order for him that kept something secret about an abortion, and he was paying somebody off, and the girl wasn't being paid. So this was why. And so when I posted that and put that out there, that became my first story that was reposted to the Shade Room. And so that was like in early 2018, or late 2018, one or two. So it was actually 2018 sometime. No, it had to be mid 2018 because I had moved to Los Angeles. Um, and so she called herself being big, bad, and bold and threatening my life. So then I said, okay, I'll show you. And so then I started putting up real, like all of her stuff that she didn't want you to know about her, like even when it came down to her PPD and stuff like that. And so, because I know how to do it from there. So that was a big person I doxed. Um, the Brat, the Judy thing, I was the first, that was my second time being reposted to the Shade Room. And that was like, the exposing that was kind of like a little bit of luck, but a little bit of know-how. I was driven with that story. It's the reason I was driven with that story is because um the Judy, it was Lil James. I don't know if you know who that is. The little boy, the little viral
Yeah,
boy.
Lil James.
Hey, mama.
Lil James.
She had basically put this boy in a slave contract, and his mama had contacted me, and she was trying to get whatever help she got. She had brought it to other blogs, but the other blogs were either paid off or was scared of Judy. Well, bitch, I ain't scared of nobody, and so that story
Nobody.
became personal for me. And so in that story, me uncovering stuff about Judy, I really found the connections that she had to the brat. I wasn't even looking for nothing on the brat. I didn't give a fuck about the brat. The brat wasn't nobody to me that I even thought about. The last time I remember with the brat was Funkified, and I remember nothing after that. I don't find the brat entertaining or nothing. And so by me doing, what you say, doxing Judy, I said, wait, this bitch go with the brat for real. And so that's how I exposed that story. Got me reposted the Shade Room, Boston.com, Neighborhood Talk. Everybody was reposting it. I was showing the proof of that. I had found out one of their flight itineraries. And I'm like, the Judy and the Brent on the same flight coming from New Orleans. And so what I did, this was March of 2020. And so what I did was went to my girl. I have a friend of mine, one of my girls that work at the thing. And I say, listen, this is when the flight come in, record it for me, because if they see me, they're not gonna be themselves, right? Of course, duh. But record it for me. So I was there. My girls recorded them together, getting the car together, all hugged up and stuff like that. I posted it. Once the Shade Room got it, I just kind of became a bona fide blogger, so to speak, right after that. So that was a big doxing, so to speak. I did dox Kiki Wyatt. She sued me. I
Would you
kind of
believe?
regret.
Look at my list. Big Booty
What?
Julie, Super Scent, Tamar, Kiki Wyatt.
I never
I'm
did nothing to
ready.
Tamar. I
So
never did
nothing.
nothing to Tamar.
Okay, my whole list.
Okay. Yeah. So it was Erica Mena. I never played with Tamar. I like Tamar. Tamar right.
Erica Mena.
Um
Erica. Sorry.
Erica Mena. So yeah, so Kiki Wyatt was a doxing. So this was by Kiki Wyatt. I didn't even really think I was gonna find nothing on her, to be honest with you, because she just talked like she was that girl. And so and me finding out about her was like finding out her credit score and stuff like that was almost like really just funny. Like, girl, how the fuck you Kiki Wyatt and I got a better credit score than you? Let's talk about this, sister. And so I put it out there. She did end up suing me. I did have to take it down. I did have to end up selling out of court. And I had to I had to go ahead and kind of just pay that and just pay it. But that was kind of actually funny and surprising to me. Erica Mena was a whole different story because Erica Mena come at me out of nowhere. Another blogger who I'm associated with blogged a story about her. It wasn't even blogged to my page. She just looked at my page and saw a blue check and said, well, here, this is the person I'm going to attack. And so she attacked me for nowhere, calling me all kind of monkeys and stuff like that. And so I drug her through the mud for real, to where she just became a certified punching bag. So she just had to
Ooh,
tap out. I went on her
ooh.
OnlyFans. I recorded everything that was on it, and I put it on my Twitter for free, so she didn't make no. I was coins. I talked about her SBA PPP loans with the motherfucking that waist snapback shit. I found out about her having a business in her name that she was alleged was a black business, but it turned out she was really the owner. Like, I really ran her through the mud, to which she just was like, whatever. Learning from the Kiki Wyatt situation, I didn't put out her credit report because I could have too, but it was just as horrible. And she had a lot of debt. But I didn't do that because once you do that, it becomes kind of like in a level of like whatever,
Right.
and I didn't want to get sued again. So
Right. So speaking of getting sued, I mean, you got. So I'm gonna go off the record here and just say you got some coins sitting somewhere.
I got no money, girl. I'm broke, girl. They
You
told you I was
know,
broke.
that's what it is. Okay, well, we will pass right on by then.
I am broke as a joke, girl. They ain't tell you. I don't know who they talking about. All of my money go to
You
them
know,
niggas.
they can have that.
What
All
money?
right. So
Wait, where I got money sitting there? Is that something on your list?
yeah, I was gonna definitely talk about network. Just the fact that your beauty Caroline is doing very well, right?
Oh, okay,
And the
okay.
fact that you stay booked and busy, you're in the state every other week. You keep contracts. You're solid. You're doing well on Bigo. And again, that skincare line is doing well. You're still getting some residual coins off of another platform. So
I
that's
might
what
have
I'm
a little,
calculating in my head.
but okay. So we learn though that money is not good sitting in the bank all the time. Sometimes you got to make your money work, and so um sometimes like okay, so even though yes, I did very good for Black Friday. I had the best sale ever. I had two really good sales this year. I broke up with somebody and I had a sale on their butt cheeks, and then I had, of course, Black Friday / Cyber Monday. So and then Judge Mathis sale too was nice too. It was nice too. So I really kind of had three big sales this year. For the Black Friday, we sold 92,000. For the butt cheek sale, it was like 23,000, and for the Judge Mathis, it was like 19,000. And so I did do that, but understand, so it's not like I'm just sitting in the money in my pocket. I did invest in, when you put your products into distribution and be in stores, you have to buy 20,000 units of every minimum, 20,000 units of everything, and it has to be certain, this, that, and the other, has to fit a certain spectrum. It has to be labeled. It has to have your things. You have to make sure your insurance is right. You have to have your barcodes, a lot of that. So I take that money, whatever money that you think I have, girl, and I had to reinvest because I believe in that. So next year, Sip Cosmetics will be in stores. I have a distributor. I probably like a few months ago actually did, my minimum order card was 100,000 units. So I put a lot back into the business. I didn't just take the money and say, okay, this is my money, I'm gonna run around with it. No, I reinvested to grow.
Shaky, where can we locate Sip Cosmetics? If we wanted to purchase, where can we locate that at?
SipCosmetics.net is our main source right now. I am in 4 stores in the southeast Louisiana area, 2 in Baton Rouge, 1 in La Place, and 1 in New Orleans. So that's if you wanted to buy some Sip Cosmetics, but SipCosmetics.net is the number one, and it's the skincare that I use myself, and obviously a lot of people definitely use.
All right. Now, if I had to ask you, what is one of your, I'm going to say two, what is two of your favorite products in your line?
Okay, the charcoal mask is obviously one of my favorite because it's like a spot in a bottle. Like, you don't have to pay to go to the spa. You can really do it yourself. It's not abrasive. It detoxifies, takes out all the toxins. It acts like a magnet to the dirt and gunk that gets clogged in your pores and leaves your skin feeling super soft. And I love it to death. And that's the charcoal mask. It is Bay. And the second thing that I find is very, very good. People do this, and I hate when they do this. They put lotion on their face. They put shea butter on their face, and all it does is clog up pores. Yeah, it keeps your face moist, but it's the way it does it is clogging up your pores, and we don't do this, which leads to other skin problems. Your pores are supposed to breathe. So my second favorite product, and which was one I recommend everybody get, is called Tea Face Mist. What that is a face mist. It hydrates your face using fruit extracts, and all of my products are infused with a tea extract, either eucalyptus or white tea extracts. And so it locks in moisture, allows hydration, keeps your skin glowing. Is why my skin glows so much, and it does it all day, and it doesn't clog your pores. So it doesn't have a tingling sensation. My products are all semi-natural, so it's very non abrasive, non-harsh. It's very, very, very. It's usually for most skin types. There are certain products for certain skin types that I do have, but for the most part, everything generally is very gentle, very, very gentle for you.
And one more question. I won't go into franchise, but if there was a young woman that was very inspired by SipCosmetic.net and she wanted to become a wholesale so that she can start her own business under you, would you offer that, or do you offer that?
I do not offer it at this time, but I did start a brand ambassadorship. Actually, Savannah has her own product on my line. Savannah is a Savannah. And so what that does is, so I do have that. And I'm actually looking to expand, especially when I'm going into stores. So now is the time, like 2022 is the year I'm going to actually broaden those horizons. So if someone, but I'm open because it's my business. I could do a lot. I have a lot of leeway. And so if someone came with a type of thing that she wanted to do, I do some wholesaling for people that own spas and a few estheticians that love the products. But if somebody wanted to do some like type white label type stuff or just like some type of branding type stuff, I definitely entertain those offers. But I wouldn't go out to seek it, but I would if they had.
That's a thought, Loyal. That's a thought. That's a deep thought. Yeah. Let's give Shaky 1 second. I think we got
I'm so
a call.
sorry.
Okay, he's back. Okay, he's back.
Yes, I'm
All
sorry.
right.
My apologies. Good
All
pussy
right. So
product.
thank you for everything. So right now, Shaky, so far we've covered Shaky from Louisiana. We've covered family life, his brother Bear. We've covered experiences with Big Frida, MC Shaky, experiences, just really finding himself as a young man, his sexuality. We've talked about the scams, and then he went to prison. And also we talked about some like Instagram instances that he had with Big Booty Judy, Super Scent, Erica Mena, Kiki White. So now let's get into some whimsical stuff like reality TV. I mean, you are a big personality, the biggest, prettiest smile, bodacious, confident. Reality TV, have you ever touched up on it? And if so, do you see yourself really pushing hard to get there?
Okay, so my first, you said, so reality TV, right? So my first touch of reality TV was seeing Frida on it, of course. And then I got a job working for a production company in New Orleans. No, the production company was out of Los Angeles, but they were stationed in New Orleans when they were doing Frida's final season of her show. So I actually got a job through to a Connect. I actually got fired because I spoke my mind and I got let go. But I also got a little taste of the background. And so I was introduced to Shakana somewhere around 2018 as well when all this stuff was happening. She had an issue with Judy, and so she just kind of saw, she looked up my name, looked up Judy and saw my name and was like, well, who this is. I think she fell in love with me at that time. And so I was invited to Atlanta a few times, met with her, was actually on set when she was doing some of her stuff, and she was in loving hip hop, and we've been friends ever since, for real. And so I got a chance to see what television was on the back end, the front end, the side end, and everything. And so it was like, I have to do this. I have to get here. And so these are one of the goals for myself. Through her, I did audition for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I did not get accepted. I did not get it. It was a closed audition, so it was an invite only audition. And I realized today that was kind of like a thing. And so it's like a lot of times in this industry, you have to realize you're going to get told no a lot. A lot. It's like I could count how many auditions I've been on, and it's a lot. And you're going to get told a lot no. And no lie, I think for the LHS, the Love and Hip Hop audition, for me, thinking about that was going to be like the thing that I figured that this was it. I kind of felt I had it in the bag, but to hear I didn't, it put me into like an emotional spot. I did kind of just digress, and it changed my outlook on a lot of stuff. Um, and so that was that. Subsequent to that, I had an opportunity to get another. We did actually do another reality show. We had a pilot when Tiny and Shekinah got together. They did a pilot for through Shekinah. I met a lot of people, and a lot of the movies and shit in Atlanta, as far as like the Monicas, the Futures, the Ti's, the Tinys. Like I meet all these people, and it's like whatever you can't, And so knowing these people, and I had been knowing Toya, but just kind of being in those places, in those spaces, it gets your mind to thinking, listen, these people are no different than you, and you are supposed to have it too. So for me, my ambitions grew that way. And so it has been a mission of mine to get on television on a recurring basis since about that time. There was another opportunity with a reality show that we shot a pilot for. Um, it also didn't pan out. So, but what I think it equipped me for is all those no's equipped me for the yes that's coming. I don't know what that is yet, and it could be one thing, it could be another thing, but the yes that's coming, I can't wait to have. And so I am. So a lot of times a lot of times you'll take an L to get that W, because I think too. And I'm a firm believer. I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person, but I believe in God. I believe in my Creator. I believe in my high power. And so I think that sometimes He allows those no's so that I can get myself into those modes and I can put myself into those. So what you see now is the culmination of all the no's and all the you too tall, you too black, you too fat, you too this and you too that, and all these hairs and all you ain't got enough of this, you ain't got enough of that. And I think God wants me to win. And I don't even think it's for me, but I think it's for people that look like me, or people for the big girls out there, for the black people out there, for the LGBTQ plus out there, for the former prisoners out there, for everybody that they say you're not supposed to have nothing. I think I'm supposed to win and show you that, yes, you're supposed to have something. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to get whatever it is that you want out of life. If you have a goal, you're supposed to achieve that goal. It's not meaning that it's going to come easy. And I want to highlight that because it hasn't been, nothing has been easy for me. Look at this. We just talked about just getting an agency. Look how long I've been in this app trying to get an agency. It doesn't come easy. You got to finagle. You got to do
You
this. You got to
know,
learn.
one thing I
You got to
always
put.
tell my kids, if you're headed in that direction, you will get there. If you're headed in that direction, Shaky, you will get there. So it shall be.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So moving right along. So Shaky, we already got facts from you that you are a man that a gay man. Okay, you date men. So I want to talk about now, when did you allow women to intervene in that? When did you first get the taste of that good old yussy? Like, how old were you and who was she? Because you told us earlier you weren't interested in women. Women were appealing you. What was about this woman that made you
That's a
give in?
that's a good question. You're making me think. Um, all right, I grew up in the '90s, and uh, so I was always told gay is wrong. Grew up in the '90s and grew up in church, so it was never a situation about. Uh, it was never a situation about, you hear me, um, that being gay is okay. Being gay was, we was told as being wrong, and so I didn't want to be gay. I didn't want to be gay. I wanted to be straight like my brothers. I wanted to be normal because it looked as if this was the life that wasn't acceptable in the church, in the family, in the community, and nothing. Everything that I had heard about gay people was just bad, and so I think that, and also in my life, my first love was killed, uh, and I never had success in relationships with men. And so when I was at a certain age, I was just like, you know what, fuck it. Let me go, let's go see what this is about. Let's go see, let me go check and see what this thing is that everybody else is so hyped about, and maybe it could change me. And so my first BM is actually my best friend, was my best friend. And we just kind of, so she knew about my sexuality, is not no question. She was at least at the time somewhat bisexual, and so it became an experiment, kind of sort of. Um, but so this is the confusing part about it for me was that I didn't think I could get erect for pussy, but it did, and it worked, and I liked it. But it was something about like attraction though that I couldn't control. So um, that's how my daughter was born. In the case of my son, it was a different part of life because it was about 6 years later that so I had got in a situation where I was like, I'm not dealing with. I got too much money. I really got too much. Like I was looked at in the streets as a boss, and a lot of people didn't want to have a punk boss, so a gay boss. And so because I have so much money, it's kind of like women were after me. And I
Wow.
was like, I wonder. And so you gotta listen, you got $1 million, they don't care if you got a little twist on your walk. And so I mean, if you look at older pictures of me, it's never nothing. I never was no like flamboyant, like the green hair and stuff like that. That came much later. But back in the camp, I had black hair. I was a gay guy. Um, but money will make a bitch change. So I thought,
Huh.
hey, and so in the case of my second baby mama, I thought she was like, no. Let me say something. It was actually something in between that. There was a woman that
Mm,
that
mm.
I actually fell in love with, and
Oh wow.
I thought that she was probably the person that I would not ever be gay. I wouldn't even cheat on her um, with my man or woman. Like she was just that amazing. Her fucking like my connection to her was so
Wow.
like it was so like what I'm saying, just so amazing, and it was so amazing that I actually had to tell her the truth about what I experienced sexually, and my sexuality. And so I did tell her, and she didn't trip. She asked me for a couple of days to think about how she felt about it because I did make clear to her that I would never, um, I couldn't cheat on her because I loved her that much, and I really was in love with her. Like that was the one, if anybody. But she was honest with me, and she was like, it's something that she couldn't get past, and uh, so we kind of ceased. But everything was about her was amazing to me. That's like the one woman that I don't know what was about her. I don't know. She was short. She just had a little attitude about herself. Was a little dainty. We connected on some like mental stuff. She was very, very smart. and we had a lot of in-depth conversations. Like she became, and to where, I mean, I wanted to be the man for her. I wanted to be. I ain't never even told about this, girl. You getting it out of me, girl. Let me find out, Empress girl.
Yeah,
What you got over there? Some
I
voodoo,
love
some shit over
I love
there.
I feel it feels so good. My eyes closed. Go ahead.
But so she had a little short, little dainty demeanor, and she was always the type of person that just kind of like she just has something about her attitude. I think was just so attractive
Wow.
to me. And I would never want to hurt her, which of course caused me to tell her the truth about myself. And so when she learned that, she something she should accept. I talked to her from time to time, every now and then, and kind of like wonder what would have and could have been. And that was that. But then my second baby mama became, she was just fine to me,
Well,
and
let's stop right there for a second. Let's go back to the short, dainty one. So she broke your heart.
I think I broke hers because
Mm,
uh, I, I she I think she wanted me to be the one. She let me know what she expected from the get go. She didn't allow me to do anything I was think I could do to her. She would not allow it, and she commanded my respect. And so
amen.
if she broke my heart a bit, it was due to me. Um, my own. I guess I wasn't. I don't think I was ever dishonest with her. I just didn't tell her the whole truth. And when I decided to tell the truth, because we was getting serious, and we were talking about like, forever, like marriage type stuff and all that type of stuff, and what we thought about those things. And it was like, well, you have to know this if you are thinking um, about that. So
Beautiful. All right, so let's talk. Tell us about Miss Sexy, that fine one.
yeah, she was just fine. A little, as we call it, red bone down here. Um, and it was just something to do. I was just like, whatever. She didn't stay in New Orleans ever. She stayed in the country part of Louisiana, so she didn't know much about. And you got to think about during this time, there's not a lot of internet and all that stuff like that. So she didn't know about my life like that. And so I literally played straight with her. Like I had the whole, the voice, the was there, was that the mama was there, baby, and all that. I was like, I laid this on like heavy and thick for her. So she had no clue about it. And I think with her, not saying there was no accident or something, but I knew I didn't want no any other kids because my daughter costs a lot of money. Like no
Hello.
shade. Like like them children is they expensive as a motherfucker. And so like so I don't know. So I think it was just like she do have some good yeah. And I was like one time I knew I could almost tell you the time that I was fucking her and my son was conceived because it was like it was so good and I wasn't going
Wow.
nowhere. It was
Wow.
like it's not going. I'm not. It's too late. I'm standing up in this pussy. It is what it is.
Wow.
And so and so obviously my son was conceived, but I didn't. I wasn't even really going to tell her for real. Come to find out that the dude that I was messing with gooped me, got her information, called her, and told her the whole, show the pictures and everything. So
So that means you were standing up and you were making good love to everybody, and he wasn't having it. He wasn't having it, Shaky.
yeah. But she have. But I think she didn't believe it at first, and then it was just like, you know what? I just gotta let you know. Like this is who I am. This is what it is. Like I don't want you to like whatever, whatever. We got a child on the way. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We gotta we gotta deal with this. I regret that because what I know I did to her, like she hasn't had a real meaningful relationship since. She doesn't trust anybody. She's always paranoid about stuff about men because she didn't like she feel like she didn't have no, so she doesn't have a trust. I feel like I've changed her perception of reality, and I do regret
Mm.
that. But again, that's her story to tell, not mine.
All right. So can we honestly say then you've been with a total of 3 women?
No, no, no. I've been with family. I just had sex in February with a woman. She thought
Oh,
she was.
look, we just
I've been
had
with.
February. We just had a woman in February, you guys.
Yeah. No,
Tell
I
us
can
about her.
I don't find like so as far as like attraction and going after women, I don't do that. But if a woman see me and know and want to know what's up or just whatever it is, it is. And I'm a very mouthy person, so I like to eat pussy for some reason. Like I come almost
Oh,
eat pussy before I like to see it like for real, sexually. I like to see it like I like to see it. It's so fascinating to me to see it squirt. Like for real, it's like really good. So I would eat it and I would suck on that little pearl tongue and all that other shit like that.
okay, Shaky.
Um,
So
huh?
is Shaky bisexual?
No, nope.
Okay. All right, so Shaky knows how to make it squirt, everybody. We're going to leave it at that. He's not bisexual, but he knows how to make it squirt, and he gets a thrill out of it. It's like a circus, it's like a fair. Okay. Okay.
I like to dibble and dabble. Yeah, that's a good thing. I dibble and dabble. But I mean, if they like, so I don't lie to them and let them know like it's gonna like if I do ever in life be with somebody for the rest of my life, it's probably gonna be it's gonna be a man. But if it's a woman and she's okay with that and she want to just experience some sexual type shit, I'll fuck with that too. But it's I can't see myself like being having that 100% attraction like
Okay.
that.
So let me ask you this question just because it's a good time to ask it. Have you seen a woman recently that you're attracted to?
Not really. I've kind of been so for the past. All right, so I was in a like I'm not a cheater really for real. Like I'm not a like I'm not like if I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship. If I'm having a whole phase, I'm having a whole phase. And so for since probably like May or something, I haven't been in a continuous relationship, but I've been in a relationship with men. And so I haven't been looking for women.
Okay. Okay, beautiful.
And
All right. So before we get into your relationship with a man, which one of your kids is more like you?
my daughter, she's a father's daughter. She is her father's daughter, like for real. She is. She's so. She is like so. The people that know, they know. She has an IG thing that she does, but it's she and her college roommate. They do a little IG thing, and it's about political stuff. She's actually been on my page. The people that don't know, then mind your business. Don't ask me what it is. You won't know. But she is so like you could see like even like I think she's so pretty. She's a beautiful black
Wow.
chocolate girl, and she's so like she into that. Like I know she's gonna be the first woman president or something. Like I know,
Beautiful.
like I have no doubt about
Beautiful.
this. Like she's gonna senator. She's gonna be like so. I mean, she's so me when it comes to just knowing how to articulate. It's not even funny. It's like crazy. Like I'd be looking at it like I can't believe I made you. Like I'm so like I get so like proud. It's like damn, and it's like oh my god, let me just buy you something because I just love like to see
Oh,
her smile and stuff. So it's definitely like
you
I
make my
really ain't got no
heart
money.
sing.
Yeah, yeah, my children get my money. Like no shade. A lot of people think like this, that, and the other, and I'm broken all this. Well, I have kids, and I've definitely spoiled them. I was out of their life for 9 years, and so it definitely allows me. Like I thank God for some of the social media successes that I had because it allows me to at least be there. But I will say this though, my daughter's more like okay because so my relationship with my son I had to exactly reestablish, which was not easy at first and is a lot better now. But my relationship with my daughter had me in her life for a while, even though I was like on some other stuff. So she had a chance to know me as a baby and then know me as an adult. And so we have a more of a friendship relationship. And so it's beautiful and it's cool.
Yeah.
I pray for the day when the internet gets less weird because I know how as a mother and how to attack your daughters for nothing, how you'll feel. And I know there'll be some people that try to attack her because of me. So I definitely don't want to introduce her to nothing like this or nothing like that or anything like that. So but eventually the internet will get less weird and I can share with y'all who she is and
Right.
y'all can see and enjoy like what it is that
Wow.
she does.
All right. So I'm going to ask a question about your son. So your daughter's flamboyant. She's like her dad. She's very articulate. She's just an outgoing individual.
Yeah.
How about your son?
He's the exact opposite because he does suffer from autism, and autism is not a mental disorder; it's a personality disorder. I hate when people try to confuse the two. But autism, so he's extremely, extremely shy. Certain things like can excite him sometimes, and that's the thing with him. But with his autism, but he deals with that. But he is smarter than me and my daughter put together. Like he tests on genius levels on everything, mathematics
Wow.
included. Like he's so it's not even funny. Like he's the smartest person in every room that he is in. But he does not like to the spotlight, the camera, the thing. Part of me moving out of New Orleans was because he was with me one time and I was in Walmart. Somebody else come up and wanted to take a picture, and that just drove him in. Like it was like it set him off. It just like somebody coming up out of nowhere wanting to take a picture with me, and so he doesn't like you know. So that doesn't kind of resonate with him. So but as a parent, it's not my job to. It's my job to protect him from that, and so I do the best I can to
Okay.
like I viciously go after anybody that I don't like people talking about training in general, but anybody that talks about autism or anything like that, I will pull up a picture of your day mama and piss on it because
Hmm.
this is the kind like I'm very like this for me is something that it hit home and hit my heart. And I see that. You have no idea how special these children are. They're really, really special. And it hurts me to hear people even like play with that. Like everything else everything could be on limits, but I think that people should not go that far. But
so thank
autism
you
is
guys
definitely.
for the autism sign in the comments. Also, if you guys don't mind dropping the autism hotline, just in case anyone know or have a family member that suffers from that ailment, it could probably help a person. So please drop the autism hotline. And not to go, I mean, this is so intimate. We're talking about this, but you did mention piss on somebody's dead mama photo. Did that ever happen? Did anything like that ever happen with you, where you had to do anything with somebody's mother's photo? Or yeah?
Yep. Yes.
Oh,
Stephen Snell, aka y'all know him as Mother Jaguar. He actually mentioned he doesn't like me, but okay, who cares? But he mentioned in a rhetoric about me one time about something in regards to my autistic son that I cannot repeat. Um, and in response, I went to his city to fight him. He did not want to come out. He was scared of me. He was scared of Savannah. And so, as the rhetoric continued, I looked up his mother, who had recently passed away. I put the picture in the toilet and I peed on it. And I would not change that for the world. I would do that again. If my son grows up and has to look up me, and he has to see this animal, this science project talking about him, the next video he's going to see is that his father pissed on her dead mom, and the picture of his dead mom. I was trying to find what his dead mom was buried on at, because I would have also pissed on her grave as well. For my living son who has autism, who has done nothing to you, for you to hate me so much, to mention something in rhetoric of him, I think you deserve that. I was going to do this every day of my life. However, shout out to my SIP Nation who reminded me that everybody deserves forgiveness on even the worst things, and that God takes care of his own and his children, and I just have to let that go some type of way. I have let that go as much as possible. It does sometimes resonate with me that this thing felt that he disliked me so much that he wanted to have a context about my child, regardless whether it's special needs or not, was just horrendous to me. And so it's still deplorable, and I still feel some type of way, but it is what it is. That means just life. We here.
okay. Respectfully, and I forgive.
Thank you.
All right, so we still have time here, so it's going to get a little bit more intimate, you guys. So I want to go into a little bit more personal, and I want to go into the relationship with you and Breon Toptier. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so first off, thank you so much for experiencing so much clarity on the panel. I think the comments and everyone is really enjoying this. And it's been fun. I'm not uncomfortable. Are you uncomfortable?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
You're a great interviewer. You kind of just let me flow, and I like that.
Thank you. Thank you. I think it's a yin and yang here. I think we work very well together.
Yes.
All right. So, but I am extremely assertive. Okay. Give him 1 second. He's taking a phone call. You guys give us 1 second. While he's doing it, let me turn off this thing. It is getting on my nerves. All righty. He takes his phone call.
Hello, y'all got me?
All right.
Yes.
All right. Now, before we get into the
I'm
Breon
sorry.
Top
I
Tier,
have my phone on. Do not disturb me.
before we get into the Breon Top Tier segment of this interview, if we can try to go ahead and round that off right there. He's almost at 2 dragons, I think. And you guys have done so well. If we can go ahead and try to round that off and show some love, this has really been fun. I'm glad everyone came out. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, it's about to get really good. Yeah, we love Shaky over here. There you go. Look at that. You got some fun stuff. Thank you, Violet. Perfect. He deserves it. Oh, thank you guys. He deserves it. All right. So right now, how are you guys liking the interview so far? And have you guys found out anything new so far? It's great. All right. Okay. Perfect. A plus. Yes, we get a 10. Yay! Awesome. All right, you
Good.
guys. So everyone on the app knows that MC Shaky um, is in a relationship with Breon Toptier.
I'm not in a
And
relationship.
okay, and it's been a relationship that's been going on now for, I'm gonna say, what, 4 months, 5 months, Shaky, or
Something like that.
okay. And it's become one of the highlights, of some of the stuff he does on Bigo. So basically, this interview was brought about today because I was in Shaky's room earlier and we're just having a casual conversation, and I was just poking, and Shaky was like, "Girl, see you tonight at 7." And so now we're here. Okay.
Right.
So I definitely want to know, Shaky, when did you and where did you meet Breon Top Tier?
I met him on this app. My my app daughter, Star Goddess, actually set him up to lie with me one time, and I was dating someone else, and he tried to holler at me, but I wasn't going for it because I was loyal to who I was dating at the time. He alleged at the time he admired that loyalty, and so when I found out that it was a ruse, I cursed him out, I cursed her out, and I threatened him to get off the app. So he kind of sort of hated me at first because it was like I was like, "Bitch, I'll run you off this app. Don't ever play with me like that. I'm shaky." Um, so then that's how I first met him. So after he came actually in my room like the next day and apologized and was like it was a lot of he didn't know. And I think at that time he began researching me. And he was like, oh wait, he looked up this, found out the Google, found out the New York Times articles, found all that stuff, and then um, kind of sort of he would come to my room all the time and throw like a little shield or a little treasure and then bust out. So it wound up that I stopped dating the person I was dating when I initially met him, and it was just like nothing going on. But he'll still come and pop in. So one time I was like, "Hey, you, why did you go? What you doing? What did you doing?" And so he was like, "I'm gonna slide in your DMs." I'm like, "Okay." So he's in my DMs. We started kind of just chit chatting. We exchanged numbers, and then we just talk on the phone as friends, like for a long time. So that's how I met him.
Okay. Um, when I first heard about the relationship, I thought it was a cute relationship because I got to see firsthand, when you walked into a room, Breon's eyes would light up. Okay. And I would see a twinkle in yours as well. So I thought that it was a good partnership. And then I heard him speak on you one day, and I thought, like, wow, young man, but very mindful. He's very deep, and he understands what he loves. And I took it as he loved Shaky. Okay, so what has been some of the highlights in this relationship, Shaky?
Um, honestly, like I really think this is just being real. Like just I really think that Breon for me, it's hard to cross something off the list for him. Because honestly, for me, Breon was amazing. Like, and it's just no shade. Like a feeling I got from him, I guess you said a twinkle in your eyes. The feeling that I got from him, like, always made me just kind of like smile on the inside. Like, I was just like so enamored. Like, he checked a lot of boxes. He fit a lot of things for me. We definitely had a term of endearment. We definitely had like a camaraderie. We definitely felt like we were on the same team. It felt like we were on the same team with the same goal. And so he did a good job of not making me hold on 1 second. Let me just that's my food. So I'm just 1 second.
Okay. Okay, everyone, don't forget to share the live. Continue to go ahead and gift the host. He's being so transparent today and open. I really, really appreciate having him today. Also, he has a site that he sells beauty products, which is sipcosmetic.net. I have a site where I sell beauty products, which is essentialbomb.com. If you go on my site and everything says sold out, it's definitely not. We have it shut down because I'm just too busy right now. But sipcosmetic.net, essentialbomb.com. Continue to gift the host. He's really, really been a great trooper here today.
Thank you. So what was the last question? And did I answer it correctly?
So
I don't even know.
you basically just telling us how the relationship was good. It was a good one, you know, and it felt good. And then your food dinged.
Okay. So her website is essentialbomb.com. You hear me? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, essentialbomb.com.
Okay.
So he is the type of person that he's like very transparent. Like everything, like I liked that about him. Like it was a lot I liked about him. And it's just like the transparency, his honesty with a lot of stuff, his honesty about his past, honesty about his just it was just like a different type of level for me. And coming from a relationship where I was in, where I was trying some stuff with somebody who was younger, trying to see what that felt like, because I had never really done that before, to being in a relationship with a grown man was a whole different thing. And so that's what it was for me. It was that.
Okay. So how old is Breon?
Brian's 30 years old. He makes 31 in February.
Hmm. Okay. Now, he checked a lot of boxes for you. When it
Right.
comes to your boxes, hold on, that's my clock. I'm going on mute for a second because it gets irritating. And there you go. I'm not going to make y'all suffer. All right. So he checks a lot of boxes from you for you.
Yeah.
Give me a few of those boxes that are important to you.
Well, to me, he's cute as fuck. Um, he always has his smile is infectious. He loves Whitney Houston. It's just as much as I do. The conversation is never like it's not a. I can't call him and talk for 5 minutes. It's gonna be 5 hours. Um,
Oh,
he like no shade. Like we could, and then he's so well rounded. He could talk about anything. He could get out there sometimes, but I like that. Like I think he like when he goes out there, I ground him, and I could get on some stuff too. Like I could go into the aliens and shit, and he could fuck with that. And so nerd shit he could come out, and that's cool. And so he does a lot of like just kind of like matching me on that note. Like it's not a situation where I feel like I'm talking down to somebody. I feel like I'm talking to my equal.
all right. So Shaky, do you trust him?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And he's done nothing to ever like even try to put a dent in that trust, correct?
No, anything that's ever happened, he's always, so I feel like I trust him. Like if something would happen, he would tell me. I
And
feel like that.
and how big is trust when it comes to checking your boxes? Where is that trust box?
It's up there with loyalty. It's really up there. Like loyalty is first, and trust is like right there.
And do you feel as though he's loyal?
Yes.
Okay.
We never had an issue. We never had an issue of cheating or anything like that.
Okay. Um, and again, he walks in a room and you smile. He makes you smile from the inside.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Okay. Makes you smile from the inside. Okay. All right. Now, so Shaky, do you consider yourself to be faithful? Someone that when you're in a relationship, that relationship is yours, you're in it, you're deep, and you belong to that person.
Yes. I've been in. I mean, I've been on this planet for 39 years. So, I've been in relationships. I've been in situations where I've cheated on people and it was not good. And I've been in relationships when I've been cheated on and it's not good. And so, if I can't say I love somebody and then give them that, so I can't give them that. No, I will never. So, do I think I'm a faithful person? I do. I would
Good.
consider myself to be someone who is uh, faithful. So, okay, now there may be a situation in life that I have not been faithful. But in the situation you're asking about, I was faithful. He was faithful. That was the issue.
Okay. All right. How are you on marriage, Shaky? Do you feel as though you could be married one day?
I believe I could spend the rest of my life with somebody. I do not feel that marriage is always the thing. I In the past 4 years, I've thought about marriage one time. I thought about marrying one of the persons one time. So it's not that's something that's actually addressed often with me, but when it is, so I've only had that addressed one time. So I really don't think about marriage, to be honest with you. And when it was addressed, it was something that was on the table.
All right. If someone wanted to join this panel, would that be okay?
No.
Okay. All right. So basically, what I gather from you is that you have boxes that require check marks. You have loyalty at the top, trust comes after, and then in between, someone that makes you smile from the inside. Now, how many boxes do you have that needs to be checked?
I got a lot of boxes, girl. I got
A
to be
lot of
checked.
boxes.
You
Okay.
know, I am shaky. So there's a
Hmm.
few, I have a little standard here or there. It's
Okay.
not just anybody. But definitely
But
there up there.
loyalty, trust, someone that makes your heart sing, um, maybe sexual relationship, that's a healthy sexual relationship.
I mean, sexual chemistry has to be there. If it's not there, that don't work. Nothing gonna work after that. You see,
Okay.
I'm not. If we're not sexually attracted to each other, we're not sexual. We don't have a good sexual chemistry. It ain't gonna work. It's just
Okay.
that's
So
any
out of your
relationship.
40 boxes, we've checked off four solid ones, correct?
Okay, we'll go for that.
Okay.
Where you
All
going?
right. So
Where you
so
going with this?
that's the positive. I feel as though this young individual makes your heart sing. You trust him. He's loyal, and he makes you feel good.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So, what are some of the things that will make Shaky feel bad from
Um,
someone that is loyal, that you trust, and that makes your heart sing?
Disloyalty, number one. Inconsistency, another thing. Like if we talk every day for 3 hours, if a motherfucker, if you don't talk to me that one day for them 3 hours, I feel like something ain't right. Um, Temperament is another thing because I tend to be quite assertive sometimes. And so to deal with me, you have to have a certain temperament. If you don't have that, we're gonna butt heads a lot, and it's not gonna work. I don't like people who feel like that they are, they don't understand the mechanics of we're in this together. Like I don't like if you're not gonna check a box for me if it's all about me or all about you. It kind of has to be all about us. But that consistency is one thing, disloyalty is another, and just kind of having an equal standpoint in a relationship is very important to me.
Okay. So, Shaky, can I get a little personal, please?
Certainly.
Um, what's the problem here with this person that's loyal, that you trust, that makes your heart sing? What's the problem?
Um, when me coming home, I wasn't driving a foreign car in my own house and all like that. I was driving a old Chrysler 300, uh, and there were times when I actually was sleeping in my car. Uh, there was times when I was sleeping on the park benches to the park because I'm tall, and so sleeping in the car just never was a thing. So sometimes I had to sleep on a park bench at City Park of New Orleans. This is me. Um, so I come a long way, and there are people that have been on this journey with me when I couldn't afford to get myself anything to eat. It would send me a cash app or something to get something to eat. Um, There'll be people that have been on this journey and invested in my life uh, a very long time. There are people that's just coming aboard that's seeing this. And I get DMs all the time from uh, a lot of people that was like, Shake, I was about to go off the ledge until I heard prison stories or this or that and know that if Shake could do it, I could do it. When I was in prison, I did attempt to kill myself. I still have the scar for it. I don't know if I can show it and not get banned. I don't know if I can see it, but that's the scar of me trying to slice my wrist. Is there as a reminder to me. I was not successful, obviously, but my creator told me he had something for me. But I kind of digressed, thinking I used to think it was about me, and so I realized it's not about me. And so I have to win. Failure is not an option. And
Mm.
so I have to be successful as business so people can see um, that you could, if I could do it, you could do it. I have to be successful in life. I have to be successful in stuff, but it ain't even for me. It's for everybody that fucks with me, everybody that have any type of love for me, everybody, even the people that don't like me. And they have to see that sometimes you gotta just whatever. They saw me go. They saw my development from a hating troll sitting sleeping on my mama's couch to a business owner that own his own property, that's driving a foreign car, that have Fendi bags and buying it on live, traveling from New York to LA and shit. That's what they're seeing. And they need to see more. The world needs to see. And that's what I owe, because my life, I tried to take my own life. And so at the end of the day, I gave it to something higher than me. I believe that to be the embodiment of what Sip Nation is. So understand when I say Sip Nation, what I'm talking about is not just my Beagle family, because we didn't even start it on Beagle, it started somewhere else. And so I'm winning for them. I'm doing it for everybody they told they couldn't win. That takes concentration. That takes being in the right position at the right time and executing the right move. It is definitely chess, not checkers. That concentration means that some things will come secondary. I had to make tough decisions. Okay. Um, I had to let cousins go. I had to let family members go. I had to let people that I fuck with 20, 30 years go because they didn't get it. They'll come around with their hands out, wanting this and that and the other, but they won't work or lift a finger. They wanted a bed in the house, but didn't put a board up when it was being built. They wanted a seat at the table and then cook, and they didn't even bring the potato salad. And so it's a lot that has to take place. When it comes to him, when it comes to this situation and what went wrong, is this. In all his wonderfulness, he deserves somebody that didn't have to concentrate on everything else. So it's not even about him, it's for him. There were times, okay, when there were situations going on with him, but I was either emceeing or I was interviewing somebody or I was packing up orders and he needed me and I couldn't be there for him because this took precedent over him, and he don't deserve that. If I think he's this wonderful person that you just said, it's not in me, and he might not understand it. He don't understand it. I do. And he might be mad. He might be angry. I don't know. I've had one conversation with him since then, and I don't know. I do know he blames the Sim Nation. He blames these people. I do know that. But I know this, that I love him so much that I want the best for him. And I know that ain't me right now because he can't get the best of me because he comes after what I do. What I do is gonna come first. He can't take second place to that. He's really third place in my life. After what I do and my children, he's there. And that's not fair to him because he deserves better than that. And so for me, knowing I cannot be there for him like he needs and like he should have somebody, I had to step back and allow somebody to love him the way he needs to be. And I know that makes no sense to people, but I do believe and I feel like after this, I hope that I can find some way to be his friend because I think we may be soulmates. But that doesn't mean we have to be in a relationship. That just means we have to be in each other's life, and I believe that. I just feel like for me, it hurts me to be able to tell him, listen, I can't help you right now because I'm on doing this or I'm doing that. I'm packing up orders. I can't come to Memphis, but you need me in Memphis. I'm on live doing an interview. I can't come, but you need me to call you. I'm on live doing a show, and that's not fair to him. That's not fair to him. And even though I could be selfish and say, listen, sit there and put up with it because I love you and I want you around and the sex good and we identify all that, that's just not fair. If you really love somebody, you don't want them to go through that. I want to be there for him, but I know what my mission and my purpose is right now. I'm on the cusp of a lot. I'm on the cusp of a lot, and I have to win for so many people because so many people have been so invested for me. And so sometimes it's not about being self. You have to be selfish at sometimes, but sometimes you have to be selfless. And this was one of those times. What I'm doing, this decision, it was not just about him. It was about my people too, because guess what they deserve? They deserve 100% Shaky. They didn't deserve a Shaky that was sometimes cross the street, sometimes over here or running behind this nigga. They don't deserve that. They've been invested since the beginning. When I had absolutely nothing to eat, sleeping on the park bench, they lifted me up. When I didn't want to start no fucking business, wanted to take my income tax time and get an apartment. Guess what they told me? No, we're going to put you in a position to buy a house. And they have not suffered. So it's not about me. It's not about self. And when I talk about what my creator, excuse me, and when I talk about what my creator has for me, it's really what he has for everybody around me. If you're in my circle, you have to win. But in order for me to show you how to win, in order for me to tell you how to win, I got to win myself. And so that's what it's about.
So I have another question. So this separation, these miles of separation, do you feel, and for the comments, I do understand that Shaky and Breon is no longer an item. I get that. So back up off me. But Shaky, through these miles of separation, do you feel as that, or though maybe he could have moved from his state to yours? Was that ever an option?
Um, he has children too. His children are younger than mine, and so some things were the miles were never an option. The miles were never a thing that was a hindrance. Okay, he have his own. He have money. He could hop on a flight whenever he wants to come. I'll drive up there when that felt for me. I'll drive up there when I wanted to drive. I travel a lot. That wasn't the thing. Were making attempts to move in together as well, but of course everybody knows that the whole situation with my criminal record came into play with that. And sometimes my own big headedness would get in the way about certain things. But I think that I don't think that played as a major part as people would think. There was never a time when I can speak for me. I can't speak for me. There's never a time I felt that it was too far from him. Outside of the times that I knew he needed.
Shaky, right now at this moment, do you love Breon?
I will always love Bria. And I say that with conviction.
Do you feel as though there's some type of small portion of your busy schedule or these different line items that need to be taken care of? Do you feel is there a small portion that maybe Breon can involve himself in, or like, is there any way, anywhere he can be? I'm only advocating for Breon only because it's hard to find people loyal. A lot of people on this app and off this app, as soon as you talk to them, they release your text messages. As soon as you send a photo, the whole world has it. When you have a phone conversation, they're telling 5 other people. They're on panels. He has, although you guys have your issues that we can't see, that we're blind to, but one thing we haven't seen is Breon exploit Shaky. And that's so hard to find in life. There's husband and wives doing it to each other. There's sisters and brothers doing each other. But despite how heartbroken he may be during the troubled times, he may, release a little sadness, but he never releases personal information on Shaky. How much weight does that hold?
A lot. A lot. A tremendous amount. A tremendous amount.
Have you thought about, today I guess is a new day, it may be fresh, but have you thought about reconciling, or do you feel as though this is salvageable?
I don't know.
Does this hurt you, Shaky?
Yes.
How bad does it hurt you?
On a scale from 1 to 10 or what? I don't know. It's not. It can't hurt. It hurts. It hurts. I don't know. I don't know how much. It just hurts. It does. I don't. I don't know how to put a quantity on the pain. It just hurts.
So the one conversation you guys had after all of this took place, was it any apologies? I love you. Maybe we can work on it, or is it just over?
Um. It's 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 what it is. I I think he had to accept my decision because it was mine. And at the time, he was dealing with something with another situation with legal type stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, it was like he couldn't. That's not something that he needed to deal with at the time. So I also not only did I not have time for him when he needed me, I also picked the wrong time to throw that out there. So yeah.
So when someone is down and out, Shaky, he's down, he's
Yeah.
down. Is that when you just walk over him? Like a heartbreak is really.
No, I'm not saying, I didn't say, no, never once did I say that it was wrong or right or anything. You ask what happened, that's what happened. Don't do you kick somebody when they're down? No, you don't kick somebody when they're down. But this is what happened in this case.
Would you like to speak to him at this moment, or just leave it? Leave it.
I do not want to speak to him.
Okay. All right. So right now, at this moment, it's cloudy for you guys. You don't see or don't foresee reconciliation or a relationship.
Um, the the future is always unwritten. I mean, that's the beauty about about humanity. Is our future, your future, my future is unwritten. Is whatever we make it. So
Okay.
I can't. I'm not a fortune teller. If that's the case, child, I'm about to hit the Powerball saying shit. But uh, the future is unwritten for everybody. That's what we
Okay.
make.
All right, everyone. So what we do understand is that they had a beautiful relationship. It's been about 5 months. They did meet on Bigo. Breonna has been very loyal, very trustworthy, and a confidant to Shaky. And just right now, it's shaky. Basically, it's just unbalanced. And Shaky is very busy growing an empire, and Breon has a lot of things that he needs special attention, and Shaky's just missing the ball on the attention. So he feels as though it's only fair. I love you, but I have to let you go for now. Okay, and that's where it is. All right. So Shaky, um, to wrap things up, where do you see Shaky in 5 years?
Running the world, like, no. Um, I want, so in 5 years I'll be on TV. In 5 years I'll have some type of recurring show, whether it be a talk show or whatever. Um, I'm actually in the auditioning phase, in the second stage of auditioning phase of well, possibly a network television show. Um, I don't know how much of it I could tell, so I don't want to tell too much. But definitely, like with my interviews and stuff, it's kind of like people think I'm just doing interviews to be messy, but I'm actually doing interviews to practice. So I want to
Yeah,
get that kind of real world experience in,
same here.
get that catalog, get that body of work in, so that when I do have to do the third phase of auditioning, I can definitely showcase that I do have the tenacity of finding the getting and know the thing. So I'm studying for that. That's another thing I'm doing. I'm looking at some of, as like I call myself the Oprah Beagle. I took that and run with it. Like look at some of Oprah's classics, look at some of Wendy's classics, and kind of just studying their technique, how they did what they did, and some of the best, the Geraldo Riveros of the world, and try to just kind of do it like from all of the spectrum. So I'm not just sitting up here doing an interview and y'all seeing the product of work. Y'all see in the morning I sit up there and I watch and I look at the technique, the articulate, how they articulate it, how they allow the person to think, and you're seeing that. So what you're seeing is not me doing a good interview. You're seeing me learning as we go along. So it's definitely a part of what like I do. So you're getting in his hand, but y'all also helping me sharpen up my knives and adding something else to my skill set. Looking at the empresses of the world and seeing how you do it. Looking at Eb and see how her interview is going real.
Yeah.
Looking at Drama Sign-Off and find out what not to do on the interview. So I look at those things and I put it in the. So um,
Well, Shaky, I look up to you. I admire you. I like sitting next to you. Everyone stay tuned. Shaky and Empress takes the seas January the 3rd through the, when are we going on this boat?
3rd through the 8th. We're going
3rd
from
through the
4 to 5,
8th.
yeah, or 3rd through the
Dates.
6th or something like that.
And I love my Shaky. He's invited me to come up on his panel and work with him. But when he's worked so hard to build something, I just like to stand back and watch, throw my gifts, and keep it moving. But we will be doing more things together. On Sunday, we have the Gospel Explosion now. Every Sunday, the Gospel Explosion, Shake and I have. Also, please shop sipcosmetic.net. This man is on a multi-billion-dollar journey right here. Let's help him get to that goal, right? Don't forget about essentialbomb.com. See how similar we are? We have Oprah Winfrey, we have Barbara Walters. Like, we here. We
Yeah,
here.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
So, Shaker, this has been an exceptional interview. And I'm
This was
glad
so
that you chose me to be a part of it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. And just like I just sit back and I admire you, I admire your daughters. It's just so much. And I just look and see it's like wow. And it's I just feel like for you that I don't know. It's just you are gonna go as far as you're gonna be to the point soon where you're gonna be able to turn it down shit. Like girl, I don't even do it. They'll be like, oh, somebody go, oh, Fox calling. I don't even want to do them. What are they talking about over at CBS? Like this is what's gonna be happening for you. I just feel this for you. I feel so much
And if
success
they
is
tell
coming to you from
me,
it.
and if they say, Empress, do you know anyone else that can possibly? I'm like, you know what I do? And he has good energy and we bounce well off of each other. I need Shaky for my co-host.
Period. And he has green hair. So that's always the thing that with green hair. What? Yeah. So thank you so much. I enjoy myself. Shout out to Balling Out of Control. Shout out to Tip Nation. I definitely love y'all. I'm definitely affiliated. I love y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. This has been awesome. I can't wait to come back. I don't know. I just hope I start flying or something soon. And that way I can come back and talk about some more because this was definitely
We
fun.
have to, you know me,
Thank
I
you so
love
much.
the sequels. The sequels are real.
Period.
Now
Period.
remember, Gospel Explosion, Shaky and Empress every Sunday. Also, we have Do You Think You Can Dance coming up. I've
That's
been
toxic.
flaking on it a little bit, but we have Do You Think You Can Dance? Shaky will be one of the judges, okay?
And if you do want to be a host, I'll be having my agency. Everything is a go. I've got the approval letter. Hi, yay! So I don't know. I'm not accepting host yet, but think about it. Also, Empress has an agency. If you want to start tomorrow, holler at her. If you want to start like next week, girl, holler at me. Period. So thank y'all so much. That was one of the to tell y'all. I have an agency. Yes, by side station. Love. Good night.
Thank
Bye.
you. All right. So, guys, that was a great, 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 great interview. Really good interview. We're supposed to be interviewing Milky. The Wind Twins stole some dragons, allegedly. The Wind Twins took some dragons, a lot of dragons, from this young lady named Milky. She's supposed to be coming up here to talk about those dragons. Yeah. So we have some missing money that's taking place. If she comes in now, then we'll go ahead and interview her on what they owe her, and hopefully we can get the Wind Twins to come on in to basically, speak up for themselves. So I'm waiting to see if Milky is coming to the panel right now so that we can discuss these stolen dragons. Okay. And oh, you never win a car. And if not, I don't mind if you want me to fill in another 30 minutes. We do have Blue Moon letters. I receive a lot of letters from women that's been molested, raped, battered and abused verbally, sexually, physically, and emotionally. So if we do need 30 minutes that we can fill in a void, I can read one of those letters. And if the woman that wrote the letter is in the room, I can give her the opportunity to come up. If she wants to remain anonymous, then she can stand down. So, Blue Moon letters, absolutely.